Hello, good morning to all of my dear friends, listeners, video viewers, and the learners of English. I Ajay Sharma welcome you to my this session once more. As you know that I have started a series over short stories to improve our English to the advanced level. That's why I have again brought a new one to you. I hope you will be watching, sharing, commenting, liking the video as I upload over here, and you will be also watching the videos in a whole as a whole. You will be watching the videos in one go. Okay, so that you can also get all the information I have shared with you. Okay, if you are new to this channel, please do the same. Subscribe, share, click the bell icon, and share and comment as well, because your feedback will motivate me to put my best in videos and to give you best content, so that you can also get motivated, feel motivated, and keep our journey on. If you want, I will keep this journey on. So your comments and your feedback is very important. Okay, so come, let us get started from here. I picked it up, this chapter I picked it up from 12th standard book name is Prose. Okay, so I will read this whole story, whole chapter in one go, while explaining every difficult word in English, so that you can keep these words in your mind and keep the whole story in your mind for forever. So come, let us get started from here. Here we go. Prose. Prose. What does prose mean? First of all, what does prose mean? Prose means any ordinary language or written language which has been used in writings. Writings means novels, or you can say short stories, or you can say essay. So ordinary language or spoken language is generally used in. There is no repetition, there is no rhythm in these in line, or in the content of essay, or any writing of the author. So prose, I hope you have already understood what does prose mean. Prose means an ordinary language or written language which is used in writings. Okay, so the last lesson, Alphonse Daudet, Alphonse Daudet, 1842 1879, was a French novelist, a short and short story writer. French novelist. Novelist means a person who writes novel. The French novelist and short story writer. The last lesson is set in the days of Franco-Prussian War, 1872-1871, in which France was defeated by Prussia, led by Bismarck. Prussia then consisted of what now are the nations of Germany, Poland, and parts of Austria. This is, remember, please be attentive, this is not Australia, this is Austria. Austria is another country in South Africa continent. Okay, so these countries are in South Africa continent: Germany, Poland, Austria, Egypt, France, and so many more other countries are there. So in this story, the French districts of Alsace and Lorraine have passed into Prussian hands. Read the story to find out what effects this had on life at school. So have a look about the lesson. The last lesson, written by Alphonse Daudet, narrated about the year 1870, when the Prussian forces under Bismarck attacked and captured France. The new Prussian rulers discontinued the teaching of French language in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The French teachers were asked to leave. So come, let us get started from here. Chapter start from here. I started for school very late that morning and was in great dread of a scolding. Dread means fear. I was in great dread or fear of a scolding, especially because Mr. Hamill had said that he would question us on participles, and I did not know the first word about them. For a moment, I thought of running away and spending the day out of doors. It was so warm, so bright. The words were chippering. Chippering means twittering at the edge of the woods. Here, woods means forest. And in the open field back of the sawmill mills, जहाँ पे लकड़ी काटी जाती है उसको, जहाँ पर लकड़ी काटने की मशीन लगी होती है उसे बोलते हैं सा मिल आरा मिल बोल सकते हैं हिंदी में. द प्रूशियन सोल्जर्स वॉज ड्रिलिंग मीन्स प्रैक्टिसिंग. The Prussian soldiers were drilling. It was all much more tempting than the rule of participles. Tempting means charming, very attractive, charming, than the rule of participles. But I had the strength to resist and hurried off to school. Resist means strength to resist. Resist means to go against someone. Okay, or to protest. Okay, so when I passed the town hall, there was a crowd in front of the bulletin board. Bulletin board means notice board. For the last 2 years, all our bad news had come from here. The last lost battles, the draft, the orders of the commanding officer. And I thought to myself, without stopping, what can be the matter now? Then, as I hurried by fast as I could go, the blacksmith watcher, who was there with his apprentice reading the bulletin, called after me, "Don't go so fast, Bob. You will get to your school in plenty of time." I thought he was making fun of me, and reached Mr. Ham's little garden all out of breath. All out of breath means हाँफते हुए. All out of breath. Usually, when school began, there was a great bustle, which could be heard out in the street, the opening and closing of desks, lessons repeated in unison. Here unison means ग्रुप में बोला जाना. जो लेसन्स थे जो ग्रुप में रिपीट होते थे तो बाहर से आराम से सुन सकता था कोई भी. लेसन्स रिपीटेड इन यूनिशन वर लाउड with our hands over our ears to understand better. And the teacher's great ruler rapping on the table, but now it was all so still. Still means very silent. It was all so still. I had counted on the commotion to get to my desk without being seen. Commotion means turmoil. Turmoil means tumult, अफरा तफरी. Commotion, बहुत ज़्यादा vociferousness. But of course, that day everything had to be as quiet as Sunday morning. Through the window, I saw my classmates already in their places, and Mr. Helms walking up and down with his terrible iron ruler under his arm. I had to open the door and go in before everybody. Yes, you can imagine how I blushed and how frightened I was. Blushed means शर्माना. Blush means frightened means घबराया हुआ. कितना घबराया हुआ और कितना ब्लश्ड था मैं. ब्लश. आई फेल इन लव इन हर फर्स्ट ब्लश. उसकी पहली ही नज़र में मुझे प्रेम हो गया. ब्लश. ब्लश मीन्स हल्की सी मुस्कान बोल सकते हो, हल्की सी ऐसी मुस्कान जो भद्दी सी मुस्कान बोल सकते हो. शर्मिंदा. ओके, ब्लश मीन्स शर्मिंदा. सो आई ब्लश्ड एंड हाउ frightened I was. Frightened means afraid. What, nothing happened? The Hamel saw me and said very kindly, "Go to your place quickly, little French. We were beginning without you." I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. Not till then, when I had got a little over my fright, did I see that our teacher had on his beautiful green coat, his frilled shirt, and the little black silk cape, and embroidered means क्या होता है? Embroidered means होता है बुनी हुई, सिली हुई, कुछ डिज़ाइन बनी हुई थी टोपी पे. Embroidered that he never wore except on inspection and prize days. Besides, the whole school seemed so strange and solemn. Solemn means very chup, very silent, very still. But the thing that surprised me most was to see on the back benches that were always empty the village people sitting quietly like ourselves. Old Hauser with his three cornered hat, the farmer mayor, the farmer postmaster, the several other besides. Everybody looked sad. The Hauser had brought an old primer, thumbed at the edges, and he held it open on his knees with his great spectacles lying across the pages. While I was wondering about it all, Mr. Helms mounted his chair and in the same grave and gentle tone which he had used to me, said, "My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of the Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive." What a thunderclap these words were to me. Oh, I wretches, the wretches. That was what they had put up at the town hall. My last French lesson? Why, I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn any more. I must stop there. Then, oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lessons, for seeking words, eggs, or going sliding on the Saar. My books, that had seemed such a nonsense a while ago, so heavy to carry, my grammar, my history of the saints, were old friends now that I could give up. And Mr. Ham, too, the idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about his ruler and now cranky he was. Poor man, it was a honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes, and now I understood why the old men of the village were sitting here there in the back of the room. It was because they were sorry too that they had not gone to school more. It was their way of thanking our Master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was theirs no more. While I was thinking of all this, I heard my name called. I was it was my turn to recite. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule for the participle all through very loud and clear and without one mistake? But I got mixed up on the first words and stood there holding on to my desk, my heart beating and not daring to look up. I heard my Mr. Hamel say to me, I won't scold you, little French, you must feel that bad enough. See how it is. Every day we had said to ourselves, Wah, I have plenty of time, I will learn it tomorrow. And now you see where we have come out. Ah, that's the great trouble with Alice. She puts off learning till tomorrow. Now, those fellows out there will have the right to say to you, how is it you pretend to be Frenchmen, and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language? Oh, but you are not the worst. Poor little French, we have all a great deal to approach ourselves with. Your parents were not anxious. Anxious means very eagerness, very eager. Your parents were not anxious enough to have you learn. They preferred to put you to work on a farm or at the mills. So, as to have a little more money, and I have been a blame also. Have I not often sent you to water my flowers instead of learning your lessons? And I wanted to go fishing. Did I not just give you a holiday? You can say this is a Africa continent. Here is France. Okay, Paris. Paris is the capital city of this country. Then, from one thing to another, Mr. Ham went on to talk of the French language, saying that it was the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, the most logical, that we must guard it among us and never forget it, because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. Then he opened a grammar and read us our lesson. I was amazed to see how well I understood it. All he said seemed so easy, so easy. I think too that I had never listened so carefully, and that he had never explained everything with so much patience. It seemed almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all the new before going away, and to put it all into our heads and at one stroke. After the grammar, we had a lesson in writing. The day Hamel had new copies for us, written in a beautiful round hand. France Alice, France Alice. They looked like little flags floating everywhere in the schoolroom, hung from the road at the at the top of our desks. You ought to have seen how everyone set to work and how quiet it was. The only sound was the scratching of the pens over the paper. Once some beetles flew in, but nobody paid any attention to them, not even the latest ones, who worked right on tracking their fish hooks as if that was French too. On the roof, the pigeons cooed very low, and I thought to myself, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? Whenever I looked up from my writing, I saw Mr. M. Hamel sitting motionless in his chair and gazing first at one thing, then at another, as if he wanted to fix in his mind just how everything looked in that little schoolroom. Fancy. For 40 years he had been there in the same place, with his garden outside the window and his class in front of him, just like that, only the desk and benches had been warm, smooth. The walnut trees in the garden were taller, and the hopvine that he had planted himself twined about the windows to the roof. How it must have broken his heart to leave it all. Poor man, to hear his sister moving about in the room above, packing their trunks, for they must have the country next day. But he had a courage to hear every lesson to the very last. After the writing, he had a lesson in history, and then the babies chanted their wa we wo woo. Down there at the back of the room, old Hoster had put on his spectacles and, holding his premier in both hands, spelled the letters with them. You could see that he, too, was crying. His voice trembled with emotion, and it was so funny to hear him that that we all wanted to laugh and cry. Ah, how well I remember it, that last lesson. All at once, the church clock struck 12, then the Angelus. At the same moment, the trumpets of the Prussian, returning from drill, sounded under our windows. Mr. Ham stood up, very pale, in the chair. I never saw him look so tall. My friends, said he, I but something chucked him. He could not go on. Then he turned to the backboard, took a piece of chalk, and bearing on with all his might, he wrote a large as he could, Viva la France. Then he stopped and leaned his head against the wall, and without a word he made a gesture to us with his hand. School is dismissed. You may go. So this was all about this chapter mean. So come, let us have a look about the word meanings. Scolding. Scolding means डांटना या chiding करना. Chide means डांटना, chide means मूर्खता भी होती है. Chirp means ट्विटर करना. Make happy sounds, चहचहाना. Edge means होता है बाउंड्री, किनारा, ठीक है. Woods means फॉरेस्ट है यहाँ पे. In front of, before. Bulletin board means notice board. Lost battles, final war. Out of breath means panting. ये पेंटिंग है. पेंटिंग मीन्स हाँफते हुए. आउट ऑफ ब्रेथ. बशल मीन्स टुगेदर. बशल मीन्स हरीड मूवमेंट. बहुत जल्दबाजी में भागते हो, बशल. यूनिसन मीन्स टुगेदर, आपस में मिल करके कोई काम करना, कोई गीत गाना, आपस में बोलना, एक बात साथ में खड़े होकर एक साथ बोलना, यूनिसन. रैपिंग मीन्स नॉकिंग, खटखटाते हुए, रैपिंग. फ्राइट मीन्स फियर. फ्रिल्ड मीन्स रफल्ड, झालरदार, फ्रिल्ड. एक्सेप्ट मीन्स होता है नॉट इंक्लूडिंग, सिवाय इसके. सीम्ड, अपीयर्ड, वॉन्डरिंग, थिंकिंग. माउंटेड मीन्स सेट, बैठ गए, माउंटेड. ग्रेव मीन्स सोबर, गंभीर, सोबर. वैसे सॉब मीन्स सिसकियाँ लेना होता है, सॉव करना, सॉबिंग. सॉबिंग से ही सोबर बना, मतलब गंभीर. सिसकियाँ कब लेगा इंसान? जब गंभीर होगा, जब उदास होगा. टोन मीन्स अंदाज, वे ऑफ स्पीकिंग. फैथफुल मीन्स सिंसियर, वेरी ईमानदार, सिंसियर. रिसाइट मीन्स होता है टू स्पीक लाउडली, किसी चीज़ को बोलना. मिक्स्ड अप मीन्स कन्फ्यूज्ड, उलझ गया, मिक्स्ड अप. हेल्ड मीन्स कैच, पकड़ना, हेल्ड. स्कॉल्ड, रिव्यूक, डांटना. स्कॉल्ड ऊपर पढ़ चुके हैं. प्लेंटी मीन्स अ लॉट ऑफ. प्लेंटी मीन्स प्लेथोरा ऑफ, plenty of. Many, much. Enough, plenty. Okay. Put off means postpone, put off the lamp, बुझा दो. Put off means बुझाना भी होता है, स्थगित कर देना. Pretend, show off. Anxious, eager, very anxious. लॉजिकल मीन्स रैशनल, तर्क संगत. ये रैशनल है. एक और भी होता है रैशनल, ये रैशनल है. ओके. लॉजिकल, रैशनल, तर्क संगत. गार्ड मीन्स होता है प्रोटेक्ट करना. इंस्लेब्ड मेड स्लेब बना देना. पैशन मीन्स एबिलिटी टू वेट. फ्लोटिंग मीन्स मूविंग अराउंड over the surface of a water, you can say. Rod means bar, a type of chhad. Quiet, noiseless, शांत रहिए, silent. Still. Scratching means रगड़ना, roughen करना, roughen. Gazing, looking. Walnut, a dried fruit. Trunks, boxes. Trembled, shock, काँप गया. Truck, triggered, बजाए, triggered मीन्स बजाए. Choked, blocked, अवरुद्ध कर दिया. Dismissed, over, समाप्त कर दिया. So this was end of this chapter. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Thank you.